Hey, HyddenWell farmers. I'm out here at the Hoplo rabbit tree. We are putting up fence now. Most of the woodwork and stuff is done. As you can see, we've got all that stuff finished. And what we're doing now is we are installing the wires in the ground stuff. Let me give you a picture of that. All of this woodworking stuff reminds me when I worked for Auburn University. I was a farmhand for them for a couple of years. And man, it got hot again out here. And they had commissioned us to tear down these old research pens. And they was about 20 of them. You know, great material. They were recycling them, taking the metal off. We had to stack it up, pulling the telephone poles for the pole barns up out of the ground so they could be reused for new facilities. I mean, we were decommissioning them, but we were also being recycling, you know, at the same time. But I kind of got in a hurry. I remember when we were the tractor, we'd kind of cleaned the ground up just a little bit with the bucket of the tractor, and it was full of stuff, and there was some wire and everything else in it, and I went over and I started cleaning all that wire out. There's one thing about Alabama that I'll never forget. They were eat up with fire ants. And all of a sudden, as I was cleaning out the bucket of that tractor, dude, I'm telling you, my arms just started, I mean, like I was getting stung by a billion honeybees. And I looked down and I had them fire ants all over my arms. They was up and down my hands on the back, and they were eating me alive. I looked like I had smallpox by the time I healed up from all of that. But man, it sure was a learning experience, because every time I cleaned out the bucket, I made sure them fire ants wasn't in it anymore. I'll show you a little bit more of the rabbit tree as we're moving along, and show you some of my growing up baby guineas that are out here as well. I really like how the outside wire, we put it on upside down so that the big holes are at the ground, but we're going to cover the inside as well as the outside with the galvanized chicken wire. And then after we put this down, we'll take those cross ties, and we'll actually, these were cross ties that weren't good enough to be used for fencing. They were just too beat up and too crooked and too mangled. But we're going to take them and lay them along the outside to hold that down and add an additional layer and barrier to it. Up on top, we'll have our deer neck clothing, and I'll show that to you when we get to it. Little babies are hiding behind mama. Look at them there.